Do you want 3 key tricks for quickly creating epic robot designs in Blender? Well, I'm going to take this info and I'm going to get it into your brain in less than 5 minutes. These tips help me make awesome robots in Blender which take me an hour and which can be refined into something for a proper render. The third trick is slightly personal, subjective, but it's probably my favorite one. So let's get right into it. Have you ever tried to draw something before just off the top of your head? If you're a seasoned artist, you may do this often and successfully as well. Similarly in Blender, when you understand design language really well, you can start to just make things up completely. However, the majority of people, including me, need some sort of shape inspiration or basic sketch to get started. So get up, open snipping tool or literally a piece of paper or whatever the hell you want, it can be anything, and just draw something hella embarrassing. Draw something really bad, some god awful bunch of lines, alright? And then 30 seconds later we are going to have some rudimentary goal. You can see many differences here. You can see that this looks like absolutely awful, but you can still see how it applies. You can see how it was inspiring for the process. And you may hear people say a lot of times about various activities that getting started is a hard thing. Well, this is something which can help you take that step, and it may save you from kind of procrastinating away big design decisions and then suddenly making them last minute. Something I definitely used to do a lot and still struggle with. You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Anyways, the next point is going to be quite a lot more specific. Gaps. Yes, gaps. That's what I'm going to prompt you with. You notice anything special about these professional models? Well, look, these are gaps. Now you ask, why the hell do you want me to care about gaps? Well, something I observed which many people miss out on is that they make models and they don't even remotely consider the real world. Now, duh, it's sci-fi, you might say. Like, why do I need to care about the real world? But if you've ever heard of the concept of suspension of disbelief, you'll understand where I'm coming from. That's why Battlefield 1 is one of the most immersive first-person shooters ever, despite having many inaccuracies and contradictions to realism. In a similar way, these gaps provide immersion. They signify plates assembled in a factory as separate parts. They indicate engineering, or they indicate functionality, like a flap or a door. Gaps are important. They prove that your model is more likely something which was created in this world on this planet, and not made out of goop from the Aeon and Supreme Commander. Don't worry if you don't get that. By the way, I'm going to be making this project file with packed PBR textures and all available on my Ko-Fi under the lowest subscription tier for free for any members for a limited time. So if you want to get access to this file and have a closer look, consider heading over there. Finally, do not be afraid to restart and retry approaches. I spent nearly a third of my time working on pieces of this specific robot and they didn't work out at all. Those pieces all just had to be restarted or like completely changed up. Sometimes you need to add a new object and separate pieces of your mesh, and you just didn't think too earlier. Sometimes you need to start with a different primitive, like a cube instead of a cylinder. The list goes on. Just don't be afraid to cut your losses. Because think about it, keeping going with something just because I already spent 30 minutes on it is futile if you're just going to waste another 30. So make sure to have fun, but always strive to make something that you're proud of, and don't just like kind of sit there complacently whittling away at something that you're kind of like dissatisfied with. Just be proud of it if it's an improvement, even if minor, over the last thing that you worked on. Alright, here are some other videos which you might enjoy, and while you're at it, I've started uploading models on CG Trader, so check those out too if you're interested. I'm putting them up for quite cheap. Subscriptions are much appreciated, and shout out to my loyal soul Ko-Fi boy, Smittering, for the amazing financial support. 皆さん見てくれてありがとう。いつもありがとうございます。またね。